Al Jazeera's Andrew Simmons is in Athens with the latest. Andrew, anyone would think, looking in from the outside, that they don't really have a sense of urgency about this.
Well, it's pretty extraordinary what's happened, really, because, of course, George Papandreou, first of all, made this speech, televised national speech, appearing to say farewell to Greece. Well, not appearing, saying it, quite emotional, and certainly pointing out that there was unity. It doesn't appear that there's unity right now, and also pointing out that an institutional candidate was going to take over as Prime Minister, but he didn't name the man. And that has led to all sorts of speculation about this. And what happened after that, he then went to the president's residence, and also the leader of the main opposition party, New Democracy, also travelled there. And when they got together, the third person within this unity agreement so far, the leader of the far-right party, Laos, he arrived and within a few minutes stormed out, saying that there was something going on and the president was being misled. Now, it does appear that their reports suggest that there is some sort of disagreement within PASOK about the person they've chosen. So whether or not the discussion with the president was about the name being put there and going through the procedures and then it was all upset, or whether it was a consultation with the president, it all seems to suggest that there's been last-minute goings-on, massive disagreement about the person chosen. One name that has been put up there is Philippos Petsalnikos, who is a Speaker of the Parliament behind me, former Justice Minister, certainly not a technocrat. Let me just introduce here George Kapopoulos to try to put some light on what's going on. This does seem like a crisis.
It seems like a crisis, but we have a last chance tomorrow. It seems that the idea of making Mr. Petsalnikos, the Speaker of the Parliament, as the Prime Minister of a caretaker government is politically dead tonight. It is clear that inside the two main political parties there is strong opposition to this idea, not personally about Mr. Petsalnikos, but about two main political reasons. First, the Speaker of the Parliament is considered as being one of the three initiators of the idea of the referendum about the October agreement. And second, it's quite clear what the country needs now is a credible Prime Minister known to our European partners, with experience and credibility, ready to negotiate in a very delicate phase when the Eurozone is crumbling and when the idea of a smaller Eurozone makes steps.
Okay, let me put to you, Antonis Samaras, the leader of New Democracy, has made a statement. He said quite clearly that he had no problem with whoever was appointed. He wanted to push through the agreement to this bailout package, and he then wanted to get on with elections. So what's going on here?
Well, there is a play of mutual accusations. PASOK began by accusing New Democracy of refusing Mr. Papadimos on the ground that he's a banker and not a politician.
He denies that.
They deny that.
Just as the finance minister also denies
But
that.
the main thing is the following, that tomorrow, when the political leaders will meet, Mr. Samaras has said today that he will not oppose Mr. Papadimos. So, logically, the responsibility of not proposing...
This is a country about to go bankrupt and they have to stand together. Is it just that the political consensus is impossible right now?
I am very sorry, but the performance of our political elite is not appropriate to the dangers that the country is facing now. I'm very sorry to say it. But it will be very difficult for Mr. Papandreou not to propose and not to accept Mr. Papadimos if Mr. Papadimos still accepts the post of Prime Minister.
I think he had the right mind, he'd be sane to actually accept it under the circumstances that have obviously been displayed behind closed doors over the past 3 days.
The conditions are quite dramatic. Italy is in a bailout condition. Mr. Sarkozy declared last night that the idea of a smaller Eurozone and a hardcore Europe also was discussed today by Angela Merkel and by Joschka Fischer from a different point of view. Nearly this country is at the brink of being thrown out from Europe.
I think we've got to the absolute headline shot here.
Yeah.
Do you think Eurozone leaders are seeing what's going on, and if agreement isn't made in a dignified fashion on Thursday, that this is going to escalate into a situation where...
Not because of the dimension of the Greek crisis, but because of the circumstances. Europe cannot bail out Italy. Europe has no idea how to make the EFSF to work. So this spectacle here in Athens is what we don't need at this moment.
Do you think it could be resolved tomorrow, very briefly?
I hope. I pray.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Thank you for that. And of course, that is a situation, one of confusion. And I think I'm right in saying talks will go on long into the night behind closed doors in both of the main parties to try to get together on Thursday to come to an agreement over who is the Prime Minister of the building behind me.